Okay, I got the star. That's the third one in the level, I believe. Alright, I need some... Oh, super leaf. In case the game wanted me to remind me that I suck. Hey guys, Zack here, and welcome back to Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. So in the last episode, we not only beat World 3, but we also cleared out Histocrat, a new boss for this game, who kind of showed up in his own little level flying saucer thing and challenged us to a fight. We took him down, we got his star, and we beat his course. In any case, we're going to be moving on to World 4, which is what he was guarding the pathway to. So, let's see. What do we got? Okay, right off the bat, we got a gate that for green stars that we need to open. Which isn't terrible. We can handle that. Wait. Oh. Oh, this is another way to see the level. That's what this is. Alright. First things first, I'm gonna see how many courses so I can accurately prepare myself. Okay, we're on World 4 now. What? Oh. Okay, so they reduced the amount of levels for this one. And they went back to the standard 6. But as a trade-off, we now have a dice house with, I want to say 10? I want to say 10. Either way, that's a lot of fucking stars. I'll say that. That's a lot. But I guess, for one, let's get in. Wait, I know these enemies. Alright. Yeah, these are new. These enemies are in these enemies are in Mario Maker. I've seen these. I wonder if I squish enough of them, will they clear out the pathway? Oh no, never mind. They just keep coming out of that. I was curious. I was curious as to whether or not I could actually clear them out. As it turns out, no, I cannot. Okay. Well, I died. That's fine. Okay, but I should mention with the fact that the course has now shortened itself again, I don't really understand the rules. I kind of don't. I thought I did. And now I have no idea. Might as well check to see what's up here. It's just a bunch of coins, but is there something on top? Ah! Okay, I just wasted a... I am not doing very bad today. Very good today. Okay, grab this. Maybe now we can actually get up. Thank you. Okay. Okay, nothing up here. That was a waste of time and lives. Okay. Well. No, nothing. Okay, that's just a way away from them to spawn out. Oh, now we're playing a 2D section of Mario. Okay, and also the cat is the only way to deal with them quickly, it seems. That's the only way to deal with them efficiently, because they require a ground pound otherwise. Alright. I should really... Yeah, I should really try and figure out some Mario Maker stuff, because these guys are in Mario Maker. That's a optional style that they added. They didn't... Surprisingly enough, it's the only optional style that they added. There's the 4 standard ones for 2D Mario, and then they translated this into 3D Mario. Well, they translated it into a 2D Mario, but it functions very similar to this. Functions very similar to this game. It's an interesting idea for a course style, but it's just... I don't know how to use it. Because there's a lot of things that work in that game mode and only that game mode. And it's relevant since the last thing I recorded before this was Mario Maker. Ow! Okay, now I can't actually get up top. Okay. I'm missing a star somewhere. Where am I missing a star somewhere? I'm already concerned. I'm missing star. Okay, there's a secret. I need you to get up here, don't I? Alright, well, I'm dead. But that's fine. Okay. Yeah, the game's not pulling it. The game's starting to not pulling any punches anymore. It is definitely starting to get a little bit harder. That or I'm just bad. Probably a bit of both. There's a cactus over here, right? Okay, none of these seem to be what I want, so we're just gonna move on. Why do I get the feeling? Why do I get the... I have a funny feeling. No. Alright, that was a waste of my time. Okay, let's clear these guys out. So that I can actually see what's up here. Okay, nothing. There was nothing. Wait. Why is there just a stamp? I'm very confused. It's gotta be up here, right? Yes. Okay, there it was. I was right. Alright, let's clear these guys out. Ah! I wasn't paying attention. It was entirely my fault. Oh, big one! Big boy. Let me guess. I need to jump on top of these guys to get what I want. They're very big. Very big and very slow. Ow. Okay, I'm already hating this level. I already hate the concept of, actually, I guess hate isn't the correct word. I'm just a little bit annoyed by the concept of this level. Yeah, they don't die when you jump on them, which is a neat little feature. Alright. Alright, some of these collectibles are a little bit, a bit of a kick in the teeth. I'm going to outright say that. Okay, I don't even need... I have Peach, so I don't even need the ants to get in there. The ant troopers. I like the idea for the ant troopers, though. They're an enemy that you use as a stage, more of a... Ow. Okay. That hurt. I should really shut up and focus, because I'm running out of lives. Okay. Okay, I got the star. That's the third one in the level, I believe. Alright, I need some... Oh, super leaf. In case the game wanted me to remind me that I suck. Yeah, the super leaf... Yeah, I don't know why. But I mean, I get it, because Nintendo games are supposed to be easy. And if you're not... And if the games aren't easy, then there's something very, very wrong. What is this? What is this here? shortcut. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, Nintendo. But what I'm saying is, Nintendo games in particular aren't usually very hard. They're usually pretty easy, pretty tame. I wonder if this isn't a shortcut. I know it's not. Oh, yes, it is. I didn't even need to use the ants. But Nintendo games aren't typically very hard. Except for Mario Maker, obviously, because, well, it's not made by Nintendo. Or at least it is to an extent. It's like they program things into the game to make the... Like, they program things into the game, like how to make the game and how to... And then it also works function-wise. Like that, similar to that, but... Just bounce on his head. That's it. That's all we need to do. Nintendo games aren't particularly hard. It's just that, it's just that they usually hold your hand a little bit. For example, Paper Mario: The Origami King. I kind of love that game, but to death. But every time you die more than 3 times in a particular section, it does kind of force your hand. It does kind of show you, like, hey, you've done this a couple of times, we're gonna give you the answer. And there's nothing wrong with that. I touched. Okay, but yeah, Paper Mario: The Origami King is a good example of this. But a lot of the more recent-ish Nintendo games have had stuff in this where if you can't beat the course after a couple of tries, it will give you an ability or an NPC character to help you through it. Like for example, in Donkey Kong Country, there's a character called Super Kong, which only ever shows up when you screw up. And in Paper Mario: The Origami King, bringing it back to what I was saying earlier about that game, is that, well, truth be told, that game, if you screw up a puzzle enough times in that game, it will eventually give you... Okay, damage boost. Ow. Okay, he moved. I'm back down to my basic number of lives. I should mention that. I'm getting down there. But yeah, Paper Mario: The Origami King is, if you can't solve a puzzle after 3 tries, or if you lose too many times to a boss, it will give you a save point. Scissors notably is very notorious for that because, well, he has like 4, as I mentioned in the bonus video recently, he has like 4 boss phases. He has like 4 bosses all the way leading up to him. There's two bosses, one guarding his dungeon, one that you fight prior to him, and then another one, and then a third boss that you fights as a warm up before you actually fight him himself. There's a modified Paper Macho enemy in that, and if you die to the Paper Macho, you get a save block out of it, if you die enough times. Mostly, but okay, Peach. Okay, I really need to focus. This level in particular isn't even that hard. I'm assuming I'm close to the end. Can I see the end? Can I see the end from here? Looks like I am close. But yeah. But yeah, there are definitely enemies. There are definitely points where the game was just like, you can't solve the puzzle, so we're gonna do it for you. Please try to do better. And I hate that in games, in a lot of games. Like Xenoblade Chronicles, it does that. Nintendo games in general just do that. If you're struggling a little bit, it'll offer you an easy mode. And that's fine. If the game isn't approachable enough for new players, then you can't actually get through it. But if you're kind of, it does feel a little bit patronizing when you're trying to do it and want to prove that you can do it, specifically for a Let's Play, and then you can't. Okay. I'm gonna see what's in here. Because I'm pretty sure it's going to be helpful. Hey! It was. Alright. So there was a... Also, I don't think I mentioned it, but I like the music for this place. I really need to get better. Alright, but yeah. Nintendo games in general, I've kind of rambling on, laboring this point, over-laboring this point at this point, but, Nintendo games in general just have a really bad habit of holding the player's hand sometimes. Not that that's a bad thing. Sometimes a person needs to have their hand held if they can't get through a particular section of the game, which is what happening with me right now. Okay. That makes me feel a little bit better. Okay, I just lost a health. But the thing about... But 2D Marios in particular are kind of difficult because they're designed around a very archaic style of gameplay where the game in question is kind of just... Okay. Hey! I got a 1-up. That's handy. Where the games in particular are built around a live system, and that was something that's been around since arcade game days. But they're not. Okay, there's the end. But I should mention, it's not like everything is the be all end all. You need to use lives in your game now, because they were initially designed as a way for people to just sink in their quarters and spend a whole... I didn't get the golden flagpole, but that's alright. I'm just rambling. But the thing about live systems in video games is that they're from a time when back in the day... Okay, it's an Ant Trooper. Alright. But they're from a time where back in the day, you would sit down in an arcade and you would play games for hours on end and bring all of your quarters with you. And then that was how you got... And then the level would just eat up your lives because... Well, truth be told, games need to be hard because they didn't know how to make them long, so they just resolved to make them hard instead. We're going in here, by the way. And so as a result, they would try to make the game difficult. Okay, this is already a really cool idea for a level, but they would make the game difficult, specifically. But they would make the game... Okay, what I'm saying... I'm trying to focus a little bit. But what I'm saying is, they would make the game difficult because they didn't necessarily know how to make them long. And as a result, they would... The games were just designed to eat up your lives, and you would have to put in as many quarters as possible. Because that was the thing about with arcade games. They were designed to keep you there. That was what their role was. Alright, these Piranha Creepers are a little bit more trouble with. But the thing is that they were designed to eat up your lives. And truth be told, that's still what happens with these kinds of games to an extent. Because games were built around the arcade style of Mario game, but thing was they don't really need to do that anymore. It's kind of just an outdated thing. Oh, okay. That's an easy way to kill them. But they don't really need to do that anymore, but it just kind of became a staple of gaming. And Super Mario Odyssey actually got rid of the live system entirely, but they still had the whole problem with live systems in general, just being like, hey, we're gonna include lives in our game even though we don't need to. It's just old habit. Specifically for game series that just kind of started off as games, as arcade games, and it just kind of never went away, which is fine. Okay, and also that just took me out. And that's fine. There are games that definitely benefit from having a whole life system. This one is definitely one of them. Alright, let's... Okay, there's a green star in here. Okay, now we need to get out. But yeah, some games just kind of... You continue to use lives out of habit. They don't necessarily need to. Mario is one of them. Sonic is another one. Even though I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember if Sonic was an arcade game or not. I believe yes. I don't remember. I actually don't know. I'll have to look that up. But it was just an old habit of people putting lives into your games to waste your, because they knew that people were going to just sink a bunch of money into this one arcade game, play for hours on end until they ran out of money, and that was why lives exist, to make sure that the arcade games paid their own weight in gold, basically. And it was actually a pretty effective effective marketing strategy as a game concept. Ooh. Okay. And it was actually a pretty effective marketing idea as a marketing concept, but the problem with it is that at some point it stopped really being a thing. We just kind of kept it. Oh, I missed out a green. Okay, that's fine. I don't think I know now. I know that some of these are. I knew some of them were locked behind it. I'm not having. Okay, where was the checkpoint? Oh, I'm going to die. Oh, it's all the way back here. Good God. Okay, but yeah, live systems were designed specifically to eat your lives. That's just how they work, and they just kind of became a staple of a lot of series that worked that way. We don't need to, and I'm kind of rambling a little bit. I'm kind of reiterating my point, but the point of the matter is that lives are just kind of an archaic system in video games, and they just kind of never really went away. That was the point of them. They exist just to eat your quarters, and then we stopped using quarters to play video games for the most part. There are obviously still arcades that are around and still do use that system, but not to the extent that it was. Most people just kind of go to those with the expression of, "Hey, we're gonna make an arcade game. That's the kind of thing we're gonna be doing." People just make arcade games. That's it. It's not a bad thing. In fact, there's a company called 1UP Cabinets, which actually makes old arcade games with a more modern update, I guess you could call it. I need to get rid of this guy. But okay, and it's going counterclockwise. Okay, that one's actually I'm going to lose a life. I'm actually going to die, and I don't want. And believe it or not, I don't want to, because that means I have to do the entire thing over again. But it's just like they get arcade 1-ups. They make arcade cabinets modernized for your home, which is a really cool concept for an arcade system type deal. You can actually make your own home arcade with a bunch of games that you used to play as a kid. If you were around when arcades were actually a thing, I wasn't. I'm not nearly old enough for that. But I do know that some arcades systems are still around. Oh, okay. But I do know that some arcade systems are still around and very much kicking, and for that reason, they just kind of continue to be a thing. But then there are people who get games that get stuck in their own old ways, like Nintendo here. They make games that don't necessarily need live systems, but they do anyway because tradition. Oh, that kills me. That kills me straight. Ooh, I'm very much going to die. But they introduce live systems in the game that don't necessarily need them, which is fine. It's just fine. It's just old habit, but that's what it is at this point. It's just old habits. There's nothing else beyond that, beyond old habits. People continue to make arcade style games and give them arcade style gameplay Because that was what they usually do. They kind of got stuck in their old ways, and even after, and this game still very much has an arcade style feel to it. But with the addition of home consoles, people are no longer like leaving to go get their best to go spend all of their money playing Super Mario when they can, since they now are able to do that from the comfort of their own home. They don't need to go out and splurge a bunch of money on an arcade cabinet because their arcade cabinet is sitting in their living room. It's just an interesting little piece of gaming trivia that I thought I would bring up. And what I'm currently rambling about. Simply for the virtue of the fact that it's just a thing that continued to happen, and it doesn't need to be. Okay, you need to die. You tossed me a... I'm not even gonna bother. I'm not even gonna bother with that star. That star's a lot more trouble than it's worth. Okay, and it still keeps going. I'm dead. Aw. Alright, continue. Alright, I didn't know she did that if I died. Okay, that was worth showing off, I guess. Although, where does that leave me? If you get a good mirror, all told houses and lucky houses will open again, so be sure to revisit. Oh. Neat. Okay, so there is a benefit to getting a game over. I don't know if... Okay, and it's also not going to keep it because I died. Well, that's fine. I can replay the... Oh, and it's giving me the Super Leaf because it thinks I'm bad at game. There's nothing more patronizing than that. I will be perfectly honest. Okay, now I can actually clear them out and kill them all. Okay. Bye, Piranha Creepers. But yeah, what I'm saying is that it's just people kind of, it's just that the reason Piranha Creeper that arcade style games continue to have these arcade style things is because of old habits, and they never went away, even though we're now at the point where we don't need them. It's a very weird thing, and yet it exists. Alright. Oh, I'm gonna lose my star. Oh, okay. Well, I'm already dead. Ooh, I need to... Okay, now the game's actually kicking my ass a little bit, so I kind of need to work harder at this, but what I'm saying is that it's just an old habit. That's what it is. It's not so much, oh, games need to continue to need lives. It's just like, yeah, games are it's designed to waste your time, but it just kind of didn't translate well to a modern setting, is what I'm saying. Because nowadays, we don't need to go spend spend 30, 50, 60 bucks on an arcade cabinet when we can literally just play them in our home. It's just a weird thing that just never went away. And I'm not the first person to point this out. There are a lot of people who have been like, yeah, this is kind of weird. I don't know why this exists, but it does. Okay. Grab the checkpoint. Yeah, just kind of, it's just one of those weird things that kind of exist, and people are like, are lives worthless? Kind of. And actually one of the weirdest, weirdest pre-order bonuses I've ever seen, that isn't inherently useless, but is just a very weird and odd choice for a game, is that Sonic Lost World actually just gave you straight up extra lives as a pre-order bonus. I don't fully understand why they did that, but I don't understand why Sega did that, but it's like, it exists. Ow. You suck. Alright, I might as well try this. Okay. Alright, I'm not gonna get it. Okay, I need to just focus. Okay. That or I can just be a platforming god and not have to focus. All right, but my point with all the rambling that I've been doing this episode is that oh, you know, just casually for fun. There we go. But the point is, from this episode and what I've been saying is that games like this, they just kind of got easier. And then as people figured out how to make them longer, oh, warp pipe, okay. And as things changed around, they kind of got a little bit easier as people figured out how to make games longer without actually making them harder. And then on top of that, lives just kind of became obsolete as a concept. It's just a little bit of a nutty thing. Ooh! New enemy! New enemy type. I have never seen this guy before. But he's part of the game world now. Wait, I can go back to Lucky Houses? I'm going to go check that because I don't think this is going to actually. Wait, what am I doing? I can check to see. Which are the what's the nearest Lucky House? Isn't it at the start? Like the slot machines. That's what they're talking about, right? Slot machines? Is there a stamp? Yeah, the stamp houses are permanently gone. Okay. So it's literally the lucky houses. So it's literally these. Which the ones that get the thing that gives you lives. That's what they're talking about. Okay, never mind. Alright, well, I mean, those are inherently useful. I thought it would be weird that the fairy houses if the fairy houses came back, considering their designated thing is to give you a stamp and then never come back. So I guess that makes the best sense. But, in any case, that's going to do it for today's episode. How long did that take to record, by the way? 31 minutes. Okay, not bad, not bad. That's about as long as it usually takes for a recording. But, in any case, we're going to be fighting this dude next time. We also got to... Actually, I'm going to grab this toad house since it's here, because I kind of need it. Grab it. What can I grab? Okay. That's actually a little bit better. Alright. Alright. But, in any case, let's go and get rid of that toad house. And I think we're going to leave this episode here. We gotta fight this guy, and then he's going to open up a path for us. Actually... No, it doesn't look like I can see the path from here. I can see the castle. I'm curious how many stars I'm gonna need for that. I'm actually pretty curious, but I think we're going to leave this episode here. So yeah, we're gonna continue onward with this next episode. We've got a little bit of work ahead of us. Although considering World 4 is a little bit shorter as opposed to World 3, which is a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird that they did it. It doesn't even... I mean, to be fair, although it does have another B level. Although it doesn't have the flagpole, so that makes me think that's actually a standard enemy rather than another boss. Alright, well... In any case, I think I'm going to leave this episode here. I'm kind of just planning out for episodes for the next thing, but... In any case, I think I'm going to leave it here. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below if you want to keep up to date with what's going on with the channel, or you just want to see my thoughts on certain subjects. Also, if you want to help support the show, then be sure to check out my Patreon. As always, it is in the end screen and the description. It helps me fund videos. So if you guys want to see more videos from me, specifically more higher budget stuff, then be sure to check that out and maybe support me over there. And also, if you want to see more videos from me, then be sure to check out my end screen. The top one is the video recommended based on what's most recent, possibly this one if it's the current one you're watching, or if there's something new that came out in the time since. And the bottom one is the video most recommended to you by Google search algorithms and all that, and it's based on your watch history and what you currently like. So be sure to check both of those out in the end screen immediately following this video. But in any case, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!